Good morning, everybody. We are back. It is the right side of campus. We are live on a Friday, March 23rd, 2018. I'm your host, the big man on campus. We're in between Thursday and Friday sessions of the Sweet 16. Had an eventful one last night. We'll take a look at tonight's action as well and all the weekend stuff. Get you ready for that. Donnie Rightside, how you doing? My co-host, what's up?
Yeah, doing good. Friday, Jeff. Yesterday wasn't too profitable for me, but hey, Jeff, come on. I mean, we can't win every single night. I took an 0-2 collar last night. We went head to head on a matchup, came down to a 1 point game. You won, I lost. Hey, just what happens in this business, right?
Yeah, you can't win them all, Donnie. That's how it goes
Mhm.
sometimes. But we'll get into that and more here in a little bit. Welcome to everyone out there. As always, what's up? Hit the like button. Let us know you're out there. And also, if you're on Twitter, retweet the show. It's a great way to get it out to all the different people. You know, when you see a show, you click the like button. It means you like it. But when you retweet it, it goes out to all your followers so they can see it. Maybe they'll say, "Oh, hey, look at this guy. This guy with a black Eagle shirt on, kind of overweight against this guy with I don't know what Donnie's on. I didn't even notice it, but hey, I kind of like this stuff. Maybe I'll listen to this. It's a good way to build the listener base up. So do us a favor, make sure you do that and hit the like button and retweet it. Welcome to all the people out there. Steve, Kyle, Daryl, Chris, Nasty Nate, everyone out there. Nasty Nate saying, "What's up, Donnie?" So he's
Yeah,
saying hello to you.
it's funny with this, Jeff, just to say thing. Like, I'm not the greatest technology guy, but it seemed to have everything figured out. We're back on the laptop today. Shouldn't have any issues. But like, I haven't had a live tweet on the show in like 2 or 3 days. Like, I'm not even in the chat box, Jeff. I don't even know how to get into the chat box right now unless somebody tweets a live link. So, Jeff, can you please tweet a live link for me so I can participate in the show?
Well, I can, but again, all I could do is retweet what's out there, and I don't know if there's anything out there. So again, what I will say is, as we wait for that, we also um, make it clear, Donnie, you can win your way to a pair of sneakers, very nice sneakers,
Yes.
Kobe's or LeBron's. Make sure you're uh, taking part in the contest at SBR. All you got to do is enter. You can follow the link on the SBR Twitter page, or you can go to the video that I did highlighting all my favorite sneakers, Donnie. I don't know if you saw that video. I
I did.
highlighted and showed you guys several of my favorite Jordans. So please do that and make sure you're checking that out. I guess there's a reason why we're not in the there's not a lot of people in here is because no link is being tweeted out, Donnie.
No,
Where's
I'm
the
not even
social
in
media team?
there.
Social
Yeah. No,
media, where
I
are you?
had it's like the
Let
second or
me
third straight day. Usually you get that live link. Like the minute we go live, it says, Jeff and Donnie join us in here. And that's the way most people get alerted and linked and come in. And that's the way I get in. Like usually about a half hour before the show, somebody will retweet it or send it out. So I'm already ready to jump in, but I'm not even in there. So maybe nobody's in there. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Matt Desaro must not be working today. Where you at, Desaro? You not here today? Not working. Yeah, I just retweeted my own link
Did you? Let
out.
me see. Yeah, let me
So
see.
maybe maybe
Let me go
maybe
pull
you
that
can.
up here. See if we can get some help.
Right. But welcome in. I told you Crocs is the way to go. I don't remember you telling me that. I don't wear Crocs. If you wear Crocs, you're lame. Sorry. Just being honest. Uh, you got to admit, Donnie, Crocs are pretty lame for a guy, I think.
Yeah, you know what? And maybe if I was, I guess it's big in like the nursing field, Jeff. I would say like, nice comfortable
Sure.
kicks, but yeah, they're not in my everyday routine. So yeah.
Yes. I will never be caught dead in those. Uh, what's up, Emza, Cam Raphael, Blaze Edwards, Blaze. I like that name. That's a good name, Blaze. Always interesting. Justin, seriously. Kyle Honeysett, Dizzy, Rothstein. What's up? Let's
Lost Jeff Stoney. Can you pick up
All
Donnie?
good. It looks like we lost Jeff here. Little technical difficulties. Let me see if I can get into this chat box finally,
I'm good.
so I can participate. You back, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm good.
There we go.
Let's
All right.
let's get into the news and notes here today. We'll start out with Johnny Manziel, an old friend of SBR's, in the news. Johnny Manziel really really at low levels in life now. He's throwing to the San Diego Toreros. I don't know if there's many pros in that group, but he was throwing to them yesterday, Donnie. out in sunny San Diego. I guess this is what his life is now, just throwing to low-level position players at a D1 AA school.
Yeah, I mean, I brought up in the news because anytime he does anything, it pretty much comes up here. But a little bit of rainy forecast in San Diego. And Jeff, you know what he didn't wear this time? He didn't wear full pads out there to try to make himself look bigger. I don't really know how much you get out of pro day. It's there's no defense, there's no pass rush coming at you. It's laid back. I don't care how many passes you can play. Oh, he threw 60 balls, only 2 weren't caught. I really don't care about that. You can pop on the tape and see what's up. I understand what he's trying to do, wants to get back in the league. And I don't know who's taking it seriously at this point. But right now, Jeff, there's so many quarterbacks out there, so much young talent, so much, veterans out there. You're going to take a flyer on Johnny Manziel and everything around him. I mean, he could have paved his way, right? Earn your right. You showed you bombed out of the NFL. You go to the CFL. You put in a good year up there. You play the good soldier. And somebody's going to take you on like your Doug Flutie back in the day when they said he was too small, too short, can't play, goes up, dominates in the CFL, turns it into an NFL career. Why didn't he just go that route? I just don't see it for him right now, Jeff.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys that just doesn't go away, Johnny Manziel. Like he's always trying to be relevant and stuff. Like, bro, just he could just create his own life. Like his fiance is like she makes money. Like be your manager or like do something like that. I mean, maybe you get a job with Texas A&M radio or something. I don't know. Do something else, man. It's kind of embarrassing at this point. I will say this though with Johnny. That fiance of his, one of my favorites. She's top 10 for me, Donnie, as far as my list is concerned. She is fine. She is like my type to a T. So good for you, Johnny. There's one thing you did well in life. And by the way, Donnie, are they married at this point, or are they married?
They are married. I said
No?
he did. Yeah, he mentioned that at his little press conference or whatever, meet with the media right after he got done throwing.
Okay.
So he's trying to play. Now, I get it here because when you're in crisis, Jeff, the best thing your manager can tell you is show something out there where you're not in crisis. Do you remember when Big Ben was getting hit up with all those rape charges? Out of nowhere in 6 months, he gets married. Ooh, he settled down. Same thing with Johnny Manziel. When you're out of control a little bit and that's your life is spiraling away, people tend to come back to center, or at least they view you as coming back to, oh, he settled down, Jeff. He got married.
I mean, I gotta ask her though. I mean, what does she see in him? I gotta ask. I'm just being honest. Like, I, I mean,
He has the
he
public
doesn't really.
eye. He has the
I guess
yeah, he
yes,
has the
yeah, I
public
guess
eye. It's a
yes,
great
yeah, I guess that's
Yep.
I guess that's true, but like he doesn't have like a ton of money. Like he's not the richest guy in the world, and like he's kind of a weirdo. Like, yeah, I guess you're right. She's a model and stuff, but no, her Instagram says Bree Tiesi Menzel, so I guess they are married now. How about that? So good for you, Johnny. Put a ring on it. Um, let's move on here. Can you imagine being her father? Hey, Dad, I want to marry Johnny Manziel. Oh yeah. It wouldn't go down good in my household if that was my sister. I'd probably have to wring her neck. Donnie, Hornets lost or won last night by 61 points. I believe I read it was the sixth biggest blowout in NBA history. The Grizzlies are horrible, man. I watched them the other night when they played the Sixers. What a just disgrace of a team. Grizzlies didn't score more than 15 in 2 different quarters last night. What a pasting here. They had just 3 guys in double figures. Kemba Walker had 46 last night. What a pathetic performance by the Grizzlies. They are really just a dead team, man.
No, it's funny because last night somebody tweeted at me and said, boy, we should have had Charlotte tonight. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, Charlotte. Well, not the 49ers, not the football team, not foot. Like, I had no idea what it was even about, Jeff, till late. I'm just watching some highlights and saw a team won by over 60 points in the NBA, which is amazing. And I'm surprised, Jeff, that we get any live tweets that said, look, I just took, Memphis when they're down 51 points, $1 to win like $1 million because they would have showed up all over the place. I wonder how many people lost when they were down 30, 40, and 50 points, just trying to be funny and taking a couple dollars on a play, maybe a live line if it was even out there. But that's straight up embarrassment. There's a lot of tanking going on right now, Jeff. There's teams trying to make the playoffs, and there's teams trying to make a run at the Andre Ayton right now.
Yeah, they might be one of them. That's a good point. Donnie, I wanted to ask you quickly. One other thing on Manziel. His net worth. Do you know what it is, offhand? Like, do you know what he's worth or anything?
I don't know what he's worth. I know his family comes from money, but his personal worth, I'm not sure about. I mean, let's not forget, Jeff, he did play a couple years in the NFL and got some endorsement money. Whether or not he still has it, I don't know, but I imagine he still has a decent wealth. He couldn't have blew it
Okay.
all yet, right?
Yeah, according to several different websites, Paul and Michelle Manziel are oil tycoons and former business people who have a net worth of $50 million.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, again, keep in mind that's not his money though. Yeah, people say it to me all the time. Oh, your family's rich, or your parents are rich, or you Donnie. Maybe your parents have money, so you're rich. I mean, that doesn't make you rich. Your
No,
parents
it
might
doesn't.
be rich,
And
but
also,
you're not.
yeah, and net worth. Let's get something real. Net worth doesn't mean they have $50 million in the bank. Maybe they
Right.
have it
That's
spread out. Now,
let's
don't get me wrong.
assets.
They're
Right.
they're making money, right? I mean, they're making money
Sure.
each and every year, but it's not like they're just breaking him off with $10 million a year because they're worth 50 million. Net worth. I mean, hey, that's an unbelievable net worth, but that's not liquid net worth.
Right, right, right. That could be real estate. That could be, all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
Like Floyd Mayweather. People say about him all the time, "Oh, he's worth this and that." That he doesn't have liquid $300 million sitting around. He's got businesses. He's got, all sorts of different things. But as far as his parents, yeah, I mean, he might have a nice windfall down the road when they pass away or whatever. But, I can't imagine. You know, they're just going to hand it away to him. I'm sure he has brothers and sisters too, and all sorts of things. He'll make money,
Yeah.
but listen, I mean, he's not a billionaire. This chick could have a billionaire if she wanted. But we move on here. Hornets though beat the Grizzlies pretty bad, and some of the listeners say Donnie it has nothing to do with tanking. Do you agree with that?
On what? What was that?
On them losing, do you think that has? Do you think they're tanking the Grizzlies?
Yeah, come on, man. And again, Jeff, I can't fault organizations for doing that because the NBA, it's basically the only, league I would like to say that appreciates this because the only way to get better is the stink. If you're in that, we used to call it the treadmill in Philadelphia, right, Jeff? We'll get the seventh or eighth seed with Andre Iguodala, maybe win a round, get bounced round one, and end up in that same thing. Never really get that true stud athlete because again, Jeff, in the NBA, it's one of five players. If you get a LeBron James, you are set for life. I can't fault anybody for tanking once they're not making the playoffs. I really can't fault it.
Sure. And Adam Silver's trying to crack down on it. Um, UK and Coach Cal skipped the handshake line. I didn't even notice this actually. They kind of just switched off of it right away. Um, I don't know. I mean, these are young kids. I don't know if he they just walked off. I don't know what happened here. Donnie, I didn't end up seeing this. How did you see this?
Yeah, and I don't even think it was that big of a deal. It's one of the headlines that popped up. Which whenever Coach Cal comes in, is screaming and yelling. They have the easiest bracket, and next thing you know, they get knocked out. Well, after it was a close game, so I understand this because if let's just say Jeff, it's 8, 9, 10 points. Most times you're not going to stream out onto the court and be all excited as your team because you knew the game was going to be won. But since it was a close game, Kansas State goes out and celebrates. Now, the right thing to do for Coach Cal would have been, all right, hey guys, come over here. They're running around for 15 seconds. Let's wait here. They're excited. Let's shake hands. But he took the old I'm going to get out of here route. Watch the way I explain it. Well, they were celebrating and we didn't want to wait around. How long was the celebration, Coach Cal? I mean, come on, man. What did they do? Run out on the court, high five each other, jump up and down for about 10 seconds, then they would have went and shook your hand. You couldn't wait around for 15 seconds. Come on, coach, be better than that.
Yeah, I'm not shaking hands. I would have walked up too. I don't have time to wait around for you to stop shaking, to stop celebrating. Yeah, listen. I mean, I think we all know that teaching kids at Kentucky sportsmanship. I mean, look, they don't care. I mean, they're moving on. They're going to another. I'll tell you right now, and we're gonna let's just move into the Sweet 16 recap with Kentucky last night. First of all, I want to highlight our friend Quade Green from Philadelphia, who look I thought he's had a horrible year. I mean, he's just not been good. What a terrible shot late in that game last night. I don't know what that shot was. I don't know what that last couple minutes was. PJ Washington was an absolute mess from the foul line. You can't miss 13, 14 free throws and expect to win a game. Donnie, it goes back to the old adage. We've talked about this time and time and time again. Most of the time, other than Michigan, if you're backing a team that's bad from the free throw line, you're not going to cover games. You're not going to win games, let alone cover them. You can't do what Kentucky did last night and expect to win games. You just can't. Um, you know, am I surprised Kansas State's in the Elite Eight? Yes. I don't see much from that team. I saw a tweet last night talking. It was late. Someone tweeted out to pull it up, Donnie here. But um, what are your thoughts on this Kansas State team? Truly amazing, I think, what they've been able to do.
Yeah, hard-nosed defense in that game. I mean, Kentucky made a run at you. I was really, Jeff, impressed overall with the way they came out and played in that game. So, can you still hear me, Jeff?
Yep.
Yeah, good. All right. I don't know why that dropped out a little bit. But no, I was really impressed by the way they played in that basketball game. Hard nosed all the way at the end. The one question that you had, obviously, is Dean Wade going to come back and play well for Kansas State? Ends up playing 8 minutes, wasn't even a factor. But the guards, the defense, because we do know Kentucky is one of the most athletic teams in the country, and they held them down all game long, kept it under the total, and played a game they had to play in order to win that one.
Yeah, the tweet was from this guy Dan Wolken. He says, "I mean this in the nicest way possible, but it's absolutely mind blowing that a team as limited as Kansas State is in the Elite Eight." And he's right. I mean, they are very limited on offense. There's not a ton there. They're just kind of a team that is blah. I mean, they get some stops and they play through that. Dean Wade barely plays last night, and they still are able to get the job done. Was it a gutless performance by Kentucky? Pretty much. I mean, they should have found a way to win the game. They were leading late. Really should have been no excuse. But again, the little things. You cannot miss free throws on regular bases and expect to win games. Um, Also, Donnie, Sister Jean in the Elite Eight. How about this?
Yeah.
Donnie, I got to ask you because you were on Nevada. Let me ask you,
Yes.
yes or no answer. I don't. You don't have to give me like a soliloquy. Are you sick of Sister Jean? Yes or no?
You know what? I want to say, Jeff, I am sick of Sister Jean, but she hasn't gone over the edge yet because every time
Yes
they
or no?
interview her, no, I'm not sick of Sister Jean yet.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
not sick of her. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, and what I was going to say is I'm not yet because I'm waiting for her comment to be a little bit out of line because she's pretty much all there in the head and she's saying the right things and it's still fun. I mean, it's going to get old and tired because now the national media is really going to ramp up if it already hasn't ramped up as a funny little sideline note from the first game they played. But I'm just waiting to hear something that just, goes a little bit over the edge from her end and then I'll be done with her. But right now, no, I'm not quite yet done with her.
Yeah, no, I don't think how you can ever be. I saw like people tweeting out, "I'm sick of this lady." Blah blah. She's a nice little woman. I mean, she just
Exactly.
sits there and watches the game. Like she roll her out. She's 98, man. I mean, this is one of her probably last choice. I mean, think about that, Donnie. And I know, I mean, I'm probably in the predicament where every dad could die. We all are. But I mean, she's literally 98, man. She didn't have a ton of life left. I mean, she's pretty much lived her life. I mean, if I could live to 98, fuck, I'd take that right now. If you say to me, you're
And with a
living to
clear
your
mind.
98,
Yeah.
yes, please come down, God, and tell me I can live to be 98. I would totally be fine with knowing that, and I would plan for it. I think with her, I'm very happy. What is she said it? A little school. We're not. No one knows us much. It's funny, Donnie. Last night, my mother, she doesn't know shit about college basketball. She called me. She said Loyola Maryland won. I said it was
Ugh.
Loyola Chicago. Even she didn't know who Loyola Chicago was. She said, "I like that little lady, the little old lady." I said, "Yeah, she's great." But you look at or Loyola Chicago; they're just a fantastic team. I mean, they're just so good, fun to watch. You got to respect what they do as a team because, Donnie, I watched Hoosiers the other night. You can't tell me
Mhm.
when you watch Hoosiers, you don't think of this team. They kind of
Yes.
remind me of
Yeah.
that team.
Yep.
I mean, they're very
Yeah.
Jimmy
Little team, the same
Chitwood-esque.
color scheme. Yeah. Yep. Sure.
It's interesting. And they're really efficient defensively and offensively. They move the ball around well. I've never seen a team ball fake more than they do. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Off pretty much every play, every shot, it's ball fakes, it's movement. I hope they get to the Final Four. I'd love to see them live, man. I'd love to, go and watch that team try to get to the championship. I'm telling you, I think they're a team that is just like that Butler team. They're going to get to the championship game maybe and bail out there possibly.
Yeah,
But
no, I
what
mean,
a
when you looked at that
what a
game,
great
Jeff,
team.
when you broke it down, what did one team do? Nevada gets out to a 28 lead by doing what, Jeff? Driving to the basket, back cutting, and scoring on layups. Then out of nowhere, they said, you know what? This is a fun pickup game. Over the next 10 minutes, let me just hit fadeaway threes and just fire threes all over the place. And they let Loyola get back in the game by playing good defense. The second half opens up, Jeff. What did Loyola go? 12 of 12 from the floor. Would they make one 8-foot jumper in that 12 of 12? All layups, breaks, getting to the rack. They're a smart basketball team. When Nevada, again, Jeff, late in that game, you say, no, how'd you get back into it? Taking the ball to the rack, fast breaks, laying it in, getting home. They shoot 3 3-pointers in the final 3 minutes and go 0 for 3 from three, whether they were down one or in a tie ball game. And what does Loyola do at the end? Make clutch threes to clinch it when they needed it. That's a good basketball team, man. You can't hate on them.
Yeah, that was a big shot late in the game from Towns, man. I mean that was a
Cool.
big time shot. I mean, a kid that you didn't get a ton of love there. I mean, I know college basketball, Donnie. Until last night, I didn't even remember him really. But what a tough shot, man. The kid from Edison, New Jersey. Beautiful. I mean, Donnie, he was so unknown that today on ESPN, you know how when they interview you on ESPN, they always like it's like they get someone to come to your house and like set you up and stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't even do that with him. They were just like, "Hey, calls on Skype, bro." And you could see he was on Skype, and it was kind of like us when we set up the shows here.
Yep. Yeah.
Um, it kind of brought me back, but yes, Loyola's moving on. Exciting times. I look forward to seeing them in the next game. And you know what's amazing also, Donnie? They always get down in games,
Yeah.
18-8, 20-8, 16-8. They're impressive stuff. They just kind of chip away at you. Um, let's keep it going here. Michigan shoots the lights out, 61% last night for the Wolverines, and yeah, they're just gifted in this month of March. They should rename them March University instead of Michigan. Impressive stuff from Michigan. I don't know what else to say. 99 points. They just couldn't miss, Donnie.
It was amazing. I'm sitting on the under 137 in this game. The game closed around 136. I'm like, you know what? Has all the ingredients that I like from a Michigan team because Michigan's going to slow it down, one of the slower paced teams. They're going to get good looks, but also you have Mo Wagner, who might be a little bit neutralized because you have big athletic bigs from Texas A&M and vice versa on the opposite end. So what does Michigan come out and do? Just rain from three nonstop, 52 points in the first half. One of those things where you try to bank on and say, you know what? They had a couple of days off. Both teams can scout each other. It's a new arena. In all the other 3 games, Jeff, they struggled to score versus the total. Not in this one. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat and say, if you're going to knock down 14 threes in this ball game, I'll say go ahead and advance. It's March, Jeff. It's Michigan. I should have just taken Michigan and forgot about the total in that game and just walked away with an easy winner. Amazing performance on a neutral court site. They scored 99 points against a pretty good Texas A&M team.
Yeah, you had to be a little concerned, Donnie, when they just started bagging in like three
Yeah.
after three. Uh, they don't really stop. They kind of don't keep take the foot off the
And
gas.
again, yeah, you're right, Jeff.
Uh,
They got up like 15, 20 early when you're like, all right, Michigan, settle in, run your offense, and maybe you can win this game like one of those, 70 to 50 type games because you just stall the clock out. But as you saw them feed off every three, Jeff, they're fast breaking and firing threes up 25. It's just the way it goes, man. They were hot last night. Nothing you could do about that. Great performance.
no, there's nothing you can do, bro. Uh, you just kind of got to chalk it up, bro. Uh, what else do we have here? Gonzaga. I got to tell you, if you had Florida State last night, you better thank your fucking stars. Tilly didn't play. What a brutal. If you're Gonzaga, what a brutal game. I mean, Tilly was fine up until the layup line. They had only
Yeah,
22
what was
points,
it? Yeah,
Donnie, in
Jeff,
the
please
paint.
explain that. Please explain that to me because I didn't watch the start of the game. And I tuned in when I saw like the score, like, I don't know, what was it? FSU was like 23-11 early. And then I see like some of the stuff that Tilly's out and saying, did he break his leg in the first minute? And then all of a sudden I see like he just tapped out of this game. What actually happened with the injury?
Well, according to the trainer, they said that his hip had healed and he was good enough to play, but during warm-ups he felt pain after going up for a dunk. I listen. For me, injuries we all know, they are what they are, but he was very much needed in that game last night. You could totally see it. They had their least amount of bench points all season, or not bench points, points in the paint all season. What you had to do was you basically had to shuffle your lineup, make Hashimura play, start. He's out of his element. He usually is a guy that comes off the bench, gives them that great 6-man role. But you saw what he did in the game against Ohio State. He had 25 points off the bench. Not having Tilly was really tough. I mean, we know Florida State's a big team. You have to have all your complement there. Listen, I think if Tilly plays, I believe that game comes down to the wire, and I think it's a totally different basketball game. It is what it is, unfortunately. They didn't have Tilly. They didn't win the game. I don't know how bad the pain was. I think you got to find a way to stick it out. But it is what it is. No Tilly, no win. Zach is gone.
And Jeff, even in that game, like you're watching it early, and FSU takes the lead, playing well. The minute that Gonzaga goes to that matchup zone, or it wasn't even actually a matchup zone, just went zone on Florida State, and actually came back and took the lead. I'm like, okay, here we go. But then you
Yeah.
go on that 9 or 10-1 run before the half. Like, Gonzaga's in a little bit of trouble, but they're tough, and we know Florida State, Jeff, really talented team, but they go through lapses where they don't look like a really good basketball team. Amazing to see that they just blew them out. But you're right, the inside-outside game of Gonzaga is what works. It's the same thing, Jeff. You look at St. Mary's, and you would take like Londale out of the game completely, or he's not playing. That totally disrupts it, which again, Jeff, we'll talk about in a little bit, which might lead into a game tonight where a big man should not be playing tonight.
Yeah, 13.6 boards for Tilly. I mean, this is a guy that, he's going to provide you a lot. I mean, he didn't play well against Ohio State, only had 7 points, but this is a guy that, in the season, I mean, played very well. I mean, he was one of those guys you have to have. And when you don't have a guy like him in the lineup, he just kind of affects different things, and that hurt them. But Gonzaga goes down, and they're out as Mark Few moves on to yet another year. We'll see who stays, who goes with Gonzaga. I'd imagine they'll come back and be very good nonetheless next year. One other thing with Kansas State, we talk about their defense. Look, they were very good last night. Diarra, Sneed, Barry Brown. They were all very good. And I got to ask, I mean, I actually saw people tweeting out last night, Donnie, that why didn't Kansas State foul on the last three by
Yeah.
Quaddy Green? Why would they foul? I mean, did anyone notice that Kansas State had literally no height in the game at all? They had no front court. So you make the first free throw. But again, maybe foul PJ Washington, because is he going to make a free throw? I mean, he was brutal from the line, Donnie. I would have considered maybe fouling him. But other than that, you can't foul, because what would happen there if you make the first, you're down 2 at that point.
No,
Very
but
well
I
easily
I
rebound
don't,
basket.
I don't buy into that stuff. I didn't actually see the last play, but I'm a huge proponent of if you're up 3 with under 10 seconds to go, you foul the hell out of that team, because it increases your odds dramatically. Because if you shoot a 3, was it a good look they got at 3 at the end of the game, Kentucky?
Not particularly.
No, well, I mean that might have been okay then, but I usually always foul, because the odds of you making a free throw and then missing one, getting it, and getting the putback or whatever with limited time on the clock is always really low. But I didn't see it there. But that's a nice one by Kansas State. The one thing I was kind of infuriated with early, Jeff, we watch college basketball all the time, but you don't see this in the NBA. Like the parade to the free throw line in the first half, where you're not even letting either one of these teams play. Like double bonus for both teams, like with 10 minutes to go, it felt like in the first half. And you're calling the plays like the scrappy plays down low, like you're going for a rebound, or it's an out of bounds play, you're both hustling to it. I can't stand those. Or you're cutting through the middle of the lane and the guy walls you off a little bit. I mean, let the kids play, man. You shouldn't have like everybody on the bench in foul trouble with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I don't foul there. I think that's a bad mistake. That's one situation in that game where I wouldn't have, because if you make the first, you could very well get a rebound, make the second. If you miss the second, I just play that out. I mean, and they got exactly what they wanted. Quaddy Green contested 3, had no shot. Let's move on to tonight's action. By the way, Donnie, quickly, tomorrow's game, Michigan, Florida State, Michigan 5. Open 5, 5, 5,
Yeah.
5. Total is 143.5. No line for Loyola, Kansas State.
Pick 'em, Jeff. Loyola Kansas State opened up at a pick 'em. Bet online is a -1 right now, but it's pretty much a pick 'em across the board.
And I think we all know where I'm going with that one. Let's get into the games tonight, Donnie.
No, yeah, games tonight, Jeff. We got 4 of them here on the docket if we slide it down to hitting the hardwood Friday night edition, Jeff. We'll go right in order here. 871, 872, 727 tip-off in Beantown, Jeff, which to me is the game of the night, the game I'm looking forward to the most intriguing matchup. West Virginia and Villanova. Line opened up, Jeff, around 5. Hovering at 5.5 right now, over-under at 152.5. If you ask me right now, we broke it down all week, but sometimes getting in Jeff, that 5.5, 6-point number. West Virginia's a really good team. We're not playing this game, Jeff, at the Wells Fargo Center. It's a neutral court site. Right now, I'm still leaning towards picking up Villanova because the fact that Villanova is very heady, and what I mean by that is not going to turn the ball over. They have one of the single best guards in the country where you want the ball in his hands when it's a pressure situation or getting pressure from, let's just say, press Virginia. They're a great three-point shooting team from just about every position. And the one knock on West Virginia's defense, Jeff, when you break the press, they're going to give you wide open three-point shots.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the concern here. I mean, you can look at Javon Carter and say, well, shut down John Elmore, he shut down Jonathan Stark, but I mean, Jalen Brunson's a bit different story. I mean, Jalen Brunson is among the best point guards in the country, and what's so great about Villanova is it's not just Brunson. I mean, you can get it to Bridges, Pascal, DiVincenzo, Booth, Spellman. I mean, they have so many options, and they're just like a perfectly orchestrated ballet on offense. It's impressive stuff. 57 or 50.3%, 87 points a game. They've just been fantastic, and all year they've been fantastic. Defensively, though, they've been very good. I think we kind of always think of Villanova as they're just a really good offensive team, but they've been really good defensively too, especially in this tournament. I know they haven't played great opponents, but still, I mean, it's been difficult to score against them. They don't turn the ball over. They don't foul on defense. They're very good from the line themselves. They're just everything you want in a basketball team. They're well coached. They have a star player. They're just everything you really want, Donnie. And not turning the ball over is key. You have high level guards that understand presses, how to break them, and how to not turn the basketball over. And if you can do that against West Virginia, you're going to score. You're going to do a nice job. And what Villanova will do is they're basically going to sit at West Virginia. Okay, here you go, West Virginia. Score in a half court. That's what we need you to do. And I don't think they're going to be able to do it. It's very rudimentary and basic, but this is to me how you beat West Virginia. You get high level guards that can break a press. Not difficult. They also foul Donnie on the road 23 times a game. Get to the foul line, make your foul shots. I just think West Virginia will have trouble in this game trying to do what they want to do. Their key is to press. When it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. I would lean Villanova. I also like the over.
Yeah, Jeff, you know what's interesting about this game when you look at it? I mean, Kanate is an animal down low. There's not too many shot blockers as good as him. But the problem is, Jeff, when you're looking at Omari Spellman, that's technically your center, if you want to put that out with Villanova. He shoots 44% from three. So Kanate is going to hang out or at least be around the three-point line the majority of the time in this, which is going to open up driving lanes. I just think Villanova's style matches perfectly the way West Virginia is going to try to want to D you up, bring you out, because you're driving to the lane. You're going to have open layups, but you're also kicking and sticking the three-point shot. It should be a great game. But again, if you watch the games last night, the better teams getting that 5.5, 6-point range, they went down. It should be interesting to see what happens tonight, Jeff. Second game on
Donnie,
deck, 870. Yeah, what's up, man?
While we got everyone's attention here, did want to mention something. And I want to say this. Donnie has not been keyed in on what we're doing just yet, but I want to make sure we're well aware here. Donnie, show obviously basketball is going to be ending soon. We're going to need a way, have some fun in the summer. We have an idea. Zach and I are working on it. And we're going to include you. Wanted to kind of just work out I wanted to come up with a little plan for it first. Zach barely even knows anything, but I'm going to tell you right now. If you're out there and you're a handicapper and you want to showcase your skills, all I'm saying is get ready. I know there's people on here that don't like me. They might not like Donnie. They think they're the best in the world at handicapping. It's going to be your opportunity to show everyone that you're very good at handicapping. We're going to come up. I got a little thing we're working on, Donnie. I think it's going to make the summer fun here at SBR. So if you like to handicap, you're good at handicapping, you think you got what it takes to be a handicapper, keep that in mind. Just going to tell you that, Donnie.
All right. I was actually hoping, Jeff, you were going to say you had something in mind where me and you wouldn't have to do any shows over the summer, still get paid, and then reappear in September. That wasn't what you and Zach were talking about?
No. I don't know if there's any way we could do that. But again, if you have an idea for that, let me know.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. So
You
yes,
got it,
keep that in mind.
I will keep that in mind, Jeff. Texas Tech, Purdue, 873, 874. 10,000 tickets have been wagered offshore, Jeff. And it's 50-50 right now, ticket split here. We take a look, line opened up at 1.5, sitting at 2 right now at half juice at most outlets, Jeff, that you're going to get. What's that? Go ahead.
I don't believe that the tickets are 50-50. I don't believe that.
50-50 split offshore right now, Jeff. 137.5. It opens up, sitting at 137. Not a lot of line movement in this game, Jeff. Now, Jeff, here. Are people waiting? Here, this is my favorite part about handicapping right now. Let's just say you're the public. You're at work right now. It's Friday, right? So you're just waiting, and you say, hey, man, I really like Purdue. And your boy goes, hey, man, Haas looks like he's going to give it a go tonight. Jeff, if you're waiting right now to see if Haas is in or out, is that a good strategy tonight when betting this ball game?
By the way, Tony asks, you guys get paid for this? Jeez. No, we don't get paid for this. We actually just sit here all day and do these shows for free. No, we actually don't get paid. We're actually volunteers. We just love the game. It's
like an infomercial. Me and Jeff pay for airtime here. Don't you guys understand that? We're an infomercial.
Yes. First of all, yeah, exactly. We actually pay SBR to be on the air. That's actually what we do. Our opinions are so weak that we can't do our own channel. So we come on SBR and we pay them for this. This is actually
like the late NBA game ends up like the Sixers play on the left coast, as we like to say, versus Portland. It ends, and then you got some whack, shop vac where you can, rinse your ceiling off, and you can actually cook a turkey with it at the same time. Yes, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're part of like that. Yeah. We actually should be on that time limit, not this time slot. But yes, we pay SBR to be on here. Come on, I thought everyone knew that already. But yes, as far as Isaac Haas, I think he's going to be a liability. Listen, when you're hurt, you're hurt. Donnie, I'm watching Second Chance U, second season. There's a kid in the second season that obviously the goal of the show, basically, East Mississippi is a junior college. So when you screw up or do something stupid, you go there and you have to play a year and you have to get yourself back on, par, and you have to get good grades, and you have to, generally you'll move on to a Mississippi State or an Auburn or wherever. And there's a kid, he's in his second season. He can't stay healthy. He's trying to play. He's trying to get his game tape out there. And every time he goes in, he's a running back. He just runs straight, just goes down. It's hard to watch. And in this game, look, I give the guy a lot of credit, Haas. I mean, he's a warrior. Obviously, he's going to try hard to play here, but I just think this is going to be a bit of a liability for them. But again, I mean, even if he's in the game, you got to think it helps them a bit. I just think it's all smoke and mirrors. I think at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are going to fall into the trap and say, "Oop, Haas is going to give it a go." The engineering students made it work. Best engineering school in the country. This has to work, doesn't it? His elbow's broken, man.
Yeah. Did you see he was in the layup line yesterday, and I don't know if it was a Purdue like radio or TV station or maybe a local 6 ABC here in Philadelphia. Haas went in for a layup with his broken elbow and comes down and says it really hurts to lay it in. So let me get this straight. And then they show him, Jeff, at the free throw line, shooting free throws with the left hand. Please, if you bet Texas Tech, you want him playing in this ball game. Trust me.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. And by the way, Donnie, one of the best comments of the day from Nasty Nate. Everyone likes Donnie. You're right. I'm the man. Donnie is the man of the people. I'm the most hated man in America. I love it. I love being a villain, as many of you know.
Jeff, if we're like the nuclear reactor, I'm the rods that go in to cool it off there, and then when it's done cooling off, you bring it back out.
I'm the guy
I think I played that part here, Jeff.
Yes, and I'm the guy that might press the button. Yes, I know. I'm the villain. I love being a villain. So keep on hating people. Never lost. I'm the LeVar Ball of this business. Let's keep it going here. Yes. I like Texas Tech. I mean, I think it's
me too.
I mean, I think you have to go there. I just think they're going to out muscle Purdue. You got to make Purdue, get away from the hot. They don't have him now, and they're going to have to. They're still dependent on him. They're going to want to have him, but he's not going to be in there. Harms is nowhere near as complacent or competitive and talented as Haas is, as we know. Good defender, but what you're going to do is you basically don't have to worry about Haas. You can play up a bit higher. You can kind of wall off the shooting lanes and penetration angles there. I don't know. I lean Texas Tech here. I think it's one of the better plays on the board. I don't understand why they're an underdog here. I think they're the better defensive team. I think they're the better team right now. And I just think they're tougher than Purdue. I think they'll just out-tough them here. Not even Haas hurts. That's a big loss. But if he's in there, then I make them a 2-point favorite. But if he's not, I don't.
Yeah, battle tested too, Jeff, Texas Tech. If you want to lean on something, don't you always want, like last night you watched the Nevada game versus Loyola. If you just told me straight out, like, look, they're not going to turn the ball over and they're going to play some kick-ass defense out there. It's never a bad strategy on a neutral court. That's what Texas Tech does. So should be a fun game. That's the second matchup there. The other one we're going to get to, Jeff, which, primetime game, 9:37 tip. That's going to be Syracuse Duke, 875, 876. The line opens up at 11.5. Most people jumping on Syracuse. The line is finally starting to move a little bit, Jeff. We now have 11 flat at most places across the board. It's one of those things that you see, Jeff. You see Syracuse out there, and you just say, you know what? They're getting 10 points in a limited possession game. If Syracuse can just make some shots against that Duke zone, they should be able to hang around, because I don't care what it's very rare, Jeff, that you see a team just explode on Syracuse, shoot 45% from three, and dominate the game. This is one of those games, Jeff, I mean, coming from a capping standpoint, I don't like the game particularly because I think Duke's going to win the game, and I'm just waiting for the bottom to fall out on Syracuse. But just watching them now, like, you just look at the points and say over double digits. Why not just roll with Syracuse here?
Syracuse has got to hope they can keep this, first to 60 wins. If they can do that, I think they can cover. But I just don't see a feasible way they can win. I mean, I'd love to see them win. I think they can, but I don't think they will. 11.5 points is a lot. I do think it's interesting, though, Donnie, that this number has literally stayed the same. I mean, it hasn't moved. It's been 11.5. I mean, no movement. I think it is a bit saying, you know what? You look at recency bias, you say, well, Syracuse has played great lately. They could definitely stay with the double digits. You got to remember, 61, 47 or 46 is a loss. 61-45 is a loss. I could see a situation where Syracuse doesn't get the 50 points here. They are really limited on offense. Really limited. They want to play defense. They want to literally sit there and defend for 30 seconds, get a rebound, wait another 30 seconds, and then take a shot. That's just what they do. They're just not good on offense, and I have a concern that they just aren't going to score enough points to stay in this game. I think Duke will get to 60. I don't think Syracuse will. I'm going to look under the total here. I think Syracuse is going to have a major issue on this, end of scoring. But they were able to wall off the bigs for Michigan State and play pretty well. Their guards are big. I think they're going to have a nice time against the guards for Duke. But 60-44 in the last game, I think it's pretty close to being similar.
Yeah, Duke also, Jeff, that little zone seeming, I think Duke plays very well out of the zone now as opposed to going man-to-man, save the foul trouble in there. You do have really athletic bigs for Duke in this game coming in. But if we watch the last game, if you even go back, Jeff, the 60-44 game, Duke didn't play particularly well. But then again, you got that normal Syracuse offense, 44 points. You're right. The first 10 minutes, as we talked about the other day, to me, Jeff, if Duke has a lead of, 6+ points after 10 minutes, it's going to be hard for Syracuse to get back in it because you've sort of going to be able to feel out that zone. But you're right. If it's a 12-11 game after 10 minutes, that's a clear indication that Syracuse has exactly what they need in this game. Running out a little bit short on time, Jeff. Let's get to this last game real quick. 877, 878. Clemson and Kansas. Line opens up at 4. Looks like it's about 5 across the board. 60% of those tickets coming in on the Kansas Jayhawks here. Bill Self comes out and says, Jeff, as a bouquet, no restrictions tonight. That should play big.
Yeah, as long as he can stay out of foul trouble, that will play big. And with him in the lineup, they're a very good basketball team. They can beat anybody, but it's key on him. He has to stay in the lineup. Clemson hasn't really been tested at all. This is a weird number, though, 5. It's always kind of that – this is kind of telling you that, the books don't really know where to go with this game. I don't have a ton on this one. This is a game that I won't watch. I have no interest in. I'll be watching that Villanova, West Virginia game much over this one. Donnie, can I say I have a pass? I have a pass, and I'm going to take it on this one.
Yeah, no, it should be an interesting one. It's one of those sneaky games again, Jeff, because we sit here and that 5-point line again. We have a sneaky team in Clemson that nobody's looking at because we all know Kansas, right, Jeff? TV, Big 12s, and who the hell is this Clemson team? I know you like to rip, the coach for Clemson and the way they play, and they lost their best player, one of the best players in Grantham, but should be a fun game to watch out, Jeff. Do you have a couple seconds here to go over some off topics here? If we slide them down, are we good today?
I think we do.
All right, let's see if we could slide down that number there. Let me just make sure to see if they come down because I don't have
By the way, Donnie,
chart in front of me. Yep, go ahead.
Of World Cup qualifiers today, not qualifiers, friendlies actually. So we might have a couple of those. We'll see. What do we got in?
All right, we'll get to some of these, Jeff. First, we'll go with Yeah, off topic, real quick here for us, Jeff. Zay Jones's charges have been dropped. If you haven't seen, he was butt naked running around a hotel, smashing windows and trying to jump out, causing harm and damage all over the place. Jeff, I got to ask you a question. If that was me or you at the Waldorf Astoria or somewhere,
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that we're going to jail. We're getting into the psych ward, and they are charging us with a crime.
Well, we would probably actually be, if you look at
Shot,
things going on
maybe?
around the country right now, we'd probably be shot and killed, because of things that go on. Pathetic. I mean, really disgusting. I mean, what do you mean you don't have sufficient evidence? He was naked. That's a decent exposure, Donnie. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I do know what the rules are, and you can't run around a hotel naked. You're going if I went and did that on a street in Lancaster, I would be arrested. If you did that, in where you live, that would be an arrestable offense.
Yeah.
Breaking windows.
Not
I mean,
clear.
he was
Yep.
clearly on drugs. I mean, there's no other. I mean, Chandler Jones didn't he do? He wasn't naked, but he did something similar to this. He was out. Remember when he was with New England, Donnie? Or
Yeah.
who was it?
Yes.
Yeah, is it Chandler Jones? That's very similar to this. I don't know how this is not a disturbance. This is a definition of a disturbance. This is something. Dropping the charges. What? I don't know about that.
Yeah,
That
no,
seems a little
crazy.
bit of a stretch.
Last tidbit here: NFL replay in New York can eject players for non-football actions. That's just what we need more, refereeing in our life here. Where if somebody throws a punch and what it can now dial it down and be like, "Hey, I might have seen a punch by the safety 40 yards down the field. Let's throw him out of the game." Enough with the NFL rule changes. To leave it the way it is. It's convoluted enough. And that's my last bit on the NFL there.
We'll leave it at that. I like it. Donnie, we'll wrap up the week here with
Yep.
the Right Side of Campus. We hope everyone enjoyed the show. Thanks to Johan for producing. Will I be back for anything? I don't believe I will. We'll be back, though, tomorrow with Ian Cameron for the Bracket Buster show. Big Man's Bracket Busters. We'll go over the Elite 8 games. And I want to make this clear, Donnie. One final comment. All the Final Four or all the Elite 8 games should be on Saturday. I hate the fact that they're on Saturday and Sunday. Leave it on Saturday.
Hmm.
Your thoughts?
No thoughts on that, but I like the idea.
Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you Monday. Bye bye.
See ya.